everybody, welcome back to An Artist Travels. I've missed y'all. So I'm back today with another sort of book related video on this channel. Okay, so today what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna show you through the books on the shelf that survived my Marie Kondo purge. So if you don't know who Marie Kondo is, firstly, hi, welcome to the 21st century. So she is the author of The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, the Japanese sensation, 3 million copies sold. It's incredible. Basically what it is a step-by-step process to decluttering your home. So she goes around to different people's homes and she helps them to declutter their spaces over a very short period of time, essentially. So I went through and did the decluttering process by myself, and I did it just before we moved into the new year because I wanted like a new year. New year, new me. And part of that process involved me holding each book individually that I owned, probably about 700 or so. They were all on the floor. I held each book individually and I asked myself, does this spark joy? Does this spark joy? So that's basically what I did. That was the process. And from that process, I got rid of probably hundreds of books. Ooh, dropped a thing. And so I want to show you the books that survived.
Some books I gave away weren't because they were horrible or awful or badly written, they just did not spark joy, i.e. I didn't think I was going to reread them, or I felt, honestly, I did it in a positive way. I felt that sometimes people would get more out of the book than me, and I wanted to bring someone else joy. So let's go through this shelf. Let's begin here, ignore the candle.
Let's start here at the very end. We have the Dexter Omnibus by Jeff Lindsay, Darkly Dreaming Dexter, Dearly Devoted Dexter, and Dexter in the Dark. If you do not know, this book was like the book behind the TV show Dexter, and it was amazing. I actually had 2 other books of Dexter, but I purged them. I gave them away in my Marie Kondo haul because they didn't really spark joy, but this has a lot of sentimental emotions for me, so we kept that one. Bridge of Clay by Marcus Suzak, who's one of my favorite authors. I know it's going to spark me joy because I absolutely 100% want to read this. So, and then my favorite book of all time, The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak. Basically, so the way I organize my shelves are usually by authors. Yeah, I'm the Messenger, also by Marcus Suzak. Another book that survived is Lolita, Essays in Love by Elaine de Botton. I mentioned it in my, I think, 2016 reading wrap-up. We have Noon in Paris, 8 in Chicago by Douglas Cowie, which I also mentioned in my 2016 reading wrap-up. Hang on a minute, let me show you. It's very exciting, look. It is signed. I get really excited when books are signed. Where did you sign it? There it is. It's signed. He's a really cool guy, and it's a really good book, so had to keep it. It sparked joy. Poet X by Elizabeth Ashveder. This is a trilogy, not a series. The 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. Book 2 is upstairs, and then book 3 is The Stone Sky. Yeah, this is in the, I can't remember the name of the series, the Broken Earth series. It's probably one of the best pieces of speculative fiction I've ever read, so highly recommend. We then have Satin Island by Tom McCarthy. This one I haven't read, but it was given by a friend who then moved back to Colombia, and there's just a really gorgeous story behind it. And so it's sentimental value, and I will be reading it quite soon, I think. So there's that one. We have The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom. We have Aristoteles e Dante descobrem os segredos do universo. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe by Benjamin Alir Sayens. Okay, I butchered that name more than I butchered the title. But yeah, this is my Portuguese copy of a well-known YA contemporary book, I think, or YA romance book. I think it won the Stonewall Prize, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, so there's that. An incredible trilogy. We have the Illuminae trilogy here. They had to survive, so we have Illuminae book 1, Gemina book 2, and then Obsidio book 3 by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. They are incredible. Like, I really used to, I think they're the one sci-fi series trilogy, I need to stop saying that, trilogy that I've read that I was like in love with. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, because, you know. Okay, so moving on now, we're about to come into my non-fiction / motivational, inspirational kind of vibey book. they're all white covers, or white and yellow. That seems to be the colour for self-help books. So here we've got You Are More Creative Than You Think by Rod Junkins. Amazing book. We have Big Magic. I have contentions with this, but so you can see I've like highlighted some bits in it because there's some really incredible advice in there. So my favourite bits I did highlight. And yeah, it's a very big book in the world of creativity. We have Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Reniero Lodge. Next to that we have, I do also sometimes categorize my books by like themes as well and authors. So we have the autobiography of Malcolm X by not actually by Malcolm, which I think was actually written down by someone else. I can't remember the name of the person, but yeah, it's Malcolm's words. The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Beep by Sarah Knight. Really, really good book. Recommend. We have, I mentioned this one in my top 8 motivational books. Get the Guy by Matthew Hussey. We have, of course, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. And we have Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. 2 books by the same author here. We have You Are a Badass at Making Money and You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I've read both. Prefer this one, but this is also really good. Depends on, like, I suppose your focus, and I don't know, it depends on who you are. I prefer this one, but yeah, as I said, they're both pretty good. We have Letters to a Young Artist by Anna Devere Smith, who I met and was really lovely. I got to interview her. We have Deep Work by Cal Newport. I might do an entire video on this because it's fantastic. The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, which I also mentioned. And we have The End of Procrastination by Peter Ludwig. Peter Ludwig. Oh, and Adela Schicker. I'm done. We have a book about procrastination. It's really good. That's the end of this shelf. So moving up, we have a kind of half shelf. And the way the shelf is organized is that it's not. It basically is a slight continuation of down here, which are my motivational books. And it basically, there's a few motivational books here, then some classics, and then like some YA stuff, and then yeah, it's weird. So let's go through them. So we have Jackie Daydreams by Jacqueline Wilson. So this is her autobiography. We've got How to Reach Your Life Goals by Peter J. Daniels. This is actually my mum's book. Otherwise, I would have probably put this away because it does not really spark joy in me. On the contrary, another book that does spark joy is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. The Crime Writer by Jill Dawson, which is also signed. Moby Dick, Frankenstein, Pride and Prejudice. This does spark joy. On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I don't know where I've put her copy of The Hate You Give, but that also does spark joy. The Purple Hibiscus and We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Then we've got, Lamona's Tale. We've got a few Portuguese books because I like Portuguese. So we've got Portuguese in 3 months. I had a bit of a leeway with this, it doesn't necessarily spark joy, but it's necessary. Lisbon Poets, Portuguese poetry. Then we have O Poder de Esperança, The Power of Hope. Then we have Histories by Sam Guglani. We have All the Bright Things. We have The Power. We have, Scorpio Rising. Freaking love Alex Rider. We have The Road to Middle Earth. We have Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, and then we have 3 Pieces by Entezaki Shange, which I've borrowed, and I'm really enjoying. So starting us off here on this shelf is good old Les Miserables, blah, 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 blah. We've got, oh gosh, that's a heavy one. We've got The Essential Kafka. Yes, this is like a collection of The Trial, The Castle, Metamorphosis, Letter to My Father, and other stories. We've got a few more classics here. We've got Of Mice and Men. I do have like a couple more classics actually up in my room, but yeah, we've got Of Mice and Men here. And then we're into the theatre section. The Dictionary of Critical Theory. I mean, doesn't that just sound so exciting? Wow, amazing. At this point, you're probably like, girl, what sparks joy? we have Training the Actor's Body. This sparks joy because of many things. One of which is that it was written by a good friend of mine, Dr. Dick McCaw. 2 of which is that it's just a really good book, but also, look, it's signed personally to me with like a really lovely, sweet note. I'm really glad he wrote the date in there, so I'll never forget. That's a really good idea. And then also, it's the first book in which I've been mentioned in the acknowledgements. It says, can you see? Where am I there? It's been read by Nicole.